Your own mind.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on today's edition of Glen's Retro Show. Today, we're going to take a look at these 4 tiny arcades that I got at Cracker Barrel last night. Let's have an unboxing and a look at some of the gameplay. Let's get started. Okay everybody, let's take a look at these tiny arcade machines. We'll start with the Space Invaders because this is the one that when I picked up yesterday, the little pull tabs, these little pull tabs here, was already taken out. So it's the first one that I've actually tried on the controls here. Now, it does say try me, but unless you pull the pull tab out of the back, the try me doesn't work. And we'll start with the box itself. I mean, the artwork is really nice, and the graphics are actually imprinted into the plastic, or however they do it. It's not a decal. It's actually right into the plastic. And it looks nice, logo here. It says here it's the smallest fully functional arcade game, joystick and button controls, by World's Smallest there. And these were $19.99 at Cracker Barrel of all places. I was actually shocked that they were there. And as you can see, they're actual keychains. I probably would not use this as a keychain, but that's what they're designed for. And it says right here it's an officially licensed game from Taito. And again, these 4 little plastic stickers to hold these things closed, and they're easy to take off. I simply used a small screwdriver here and I simply slid it and it came right off real easy. So no damage to the box and getting into it, but you can see the graphics are done very, very nicely. So let's take one of these out and see how it goes. So once you take off those decals, the top opens right up. And I apologize everyone, I still have my allergies going on, so I'm suffering from that a little bit. So there's our little Space Invader arcade machine, and there are 2 little pamphlets inside. One is a little booklet with all the other, I guess, little toys you can get from this company. You can see they have a little Mattel football, basketball. They do the keychains for that. Looks like a Polaroid, Gumby, a little record player. Stuff on the back here. What do we got here? Oh, the little spin tops. I used to have those spin tops. So they just show you some of the other cool or fun things that they do manufacture. So I'll put that back in here. There's a little QR code, maybe something to do with the Space Invaders. I'll have to look at that. And the other thing they do give you is a little instruction manual, but the manual is not specific to Space Invaders, it's just a tiny arcade in general. So it just tells you about the buttons. These run on 3 AAA batteries. Tells you how to reset the game, battery warnings, and so forth. Nothing on the back. The back is blank. But nothing specific to Space Invaders itself, but that's okay because these games are very simple, easy to navigate, I suppose. I'll put these back in the box, like so. And let's take a look at the actual game. It's housed in a nice protective shell here. You have to pop these little things here, but they're resealable, which I like, unlike the blister packs with the Bridge Direct. And here is the little machine. And the artwork is very nice. And these actually have a nice weight to them. Surprisingly a good weight to them. That's probably from the batteries itself. But they feel solid. Plastic does not feel flimsy like the Dream Gear units. But you can see they have really nice side graphic art here. And same on the front. Now the marquees and all these do light up, which is kind of nice. It's a 1.5-inch screen, which I'm guessing is an OLED, an 8-way joystick, and moving the joystick, you see turn down the game. Let's see, in the back here is your battery compartment and your keychain and an on-off button, and the speaker is on the bottom. So let's take a look at the game. Now, when I first started playing this, I thought it was actually an arcade version, or arcade ROM of Space Invaders. But after playing it for a few minutes, it's not. But it's a really, really close copy, if you will. The big difference is when the Space Invaders move in the arcade machine, one invader moves and then the rest kind of track after the first invader. Here they're all completely synchronized in how they move. So that's definitely not an original arcade ROM. But you can see here the display is actually pretty damn sharp. You can definitely see all the graphics on it. The invaders do look correct, just that the movement is the giveaway. That's not the arcade ROM. And the only other thing I saw that's a negative on here is when you get down to a few invaders, the speed up that it's supposed to do seems like it's delayed, or there's some, it stutters, I guess is a good way to put it. So I don't know if it's not powerful enough to play the ROM, but it doesn't really detract from it too much. I found it very fun to play. Now I think this button here, there's two buttons on here. One, I guess, is your quarter, and the other one starts your game as your fire, so let's try it. It's in demo mode right now, and the sound effects are good, and the invaders themselves look arcade perfect, although they don't move in true fashion, and you can see that they're the whole screen wide, so until you start wiping some of them out, they pretty much come straight down at you. But you can see it's very crisp and easy to see. Let's try and start it up this time. So playability-wise, it's definitely a good version of Space Invaders, and definitely better than the, the black and white static screen you got from Bridge Direct. I found it to be very fun, and not arcade perfect, but darn close enough for something like this, where I think it's definitely worth buying. I'm definitely enjoying it. I do like that the marquee does light up. Again, it's hard to play this through a viewfinder, fellas, so I'm still doing pretty good. Oh. So in this game, you definitely, then more than the arcade, want to start at the sides, because that's, in the beginning, there's so many left to right that they will simply come straight down at you. The joystick seems very responsive, and the buttons are very responsive. There's no, like, the little mushy feel you have with the Bridge Direct joystick or buttons. Again, this is just the first one I'm playing, but the joystick is very, very responsive, and the buttons are very responsive. They seem crisp. There doesn't seem to be any mushy feel to anything on it, which is great. Now you can see that they are speeding up right now, but it's still not as much as it probably should be. See, right now they should be going a lot faster than they are in the arcade ROM. And you can see the delay there, and the sound is not speeding up like it should be. So those are definitely differences that gives a telltale that's not the arcade ROM, but it's a pretty good copy of it. I've definitely played tons worse, but I haven't played much better other than the actual arcade ROM. And of course it just starts up on another cycle. And let's see how it ends. And that's it. Game over. So you can see that the marquee up here is illuminated, which is nice. The screen is crisp. It goes into a nice little demo mode. Again, the joystick felt great, and the two buttons felt really good too. Your fire button is your right button, and your game start is your left button, at least in Space Invaders. So this is a really nice little guy. Now, I'll put a link down below. I think it's a website called Deep Discounts that will have these at the end of the month for $15.99 versus the $19.99. And I definitely think even at $19, it's not bad. It's definitely better than the Bridge Direct version of Space Invaders that they released with the static screen. I found it to be very playable. It wasn't really hard to see the screen. My eyes stink too for an old guy. But I can still see the screen very, very easily. It's definitely bright enough in a very lit room to have my lights blaring down on here. on this. So I'm giving this one absolutely Space Invaders so far a thumbs up. I like the artwork. I don't know if I'd use it as a keychain though. You'd probably get, in my case, ruined really quickly. But it's a damn nice little game unit here. I like it. So I'm going to put this one back in the box. Actually, I want to leave it out of the box. We'll put it in front so we don't even played you. We'll take the next one. We'll take Galaxian, which is technically the successor to Space Invaders. And you see, once again, they did a nice job with the artwork. It's part of the plastic. It's not a decal of any kind. Original gameplay, choking hazards, of course, but you can see they did a really nice job with the box. Again, this is what Bridge Direct should do for its blister pack version. Something like this versus having to destroy the box to get to the console. This is a much smarter way to go. So you have all this information down on the bottom. SuperImpulse.com. Okay. Works for me. So let's get this little guy out of here. Take a look at the top artwork real quick too. So they did a very, very nice job. Let's get this console out of here. And again, we have the same two pamphlets in here. And again, I'm going to assume this pamphlet doesn't show anything specific about Galaxian. And it does not. Just how to get to the batteries. And again, they include 3 AAA batteries already, which is nice. You know, especially when you were a kid, you always had to go buy batteries whenever you bought your little consoles. So this is actually much better. Get back in it. Get down there. Get. Thank you. Put our Galaxian box back there. And the same thing. Little plastic blister pack. We'll take that apart. Take out our console. Put this back over here. Now you can see in this one, take a look at the artwork again. Did a nice job with the artwork. I remember this being a little bit on the blue side. If I'm being nitpicky, the Galaxian would be blue, but I'd have to check on that. I'm pretty sure that was blue down to white. But still, it's more like this on this top label up here. But still, very, very nice. You know, they use the same arcade for all of them. And my understanding is if you open these little guys up, there is a 0 ohm resistor on one of 4 pads. So the going theory is that all 4 of these games are on each one of these consoles, and simply moving a resistor pack, or if you want to put jumpers on there, you have to solder them on, put jumpers on there, and you could probably play Space Invaders, Galaxian, Miss Pac-Man, and Pac-Man all on just one of these. So you can see here, Keith on the Old Made New forum actually opened up his Miss Pac-Man to give us some ideas that, in fact, all 4 games are actually on the PCB of each game. We want to take a close-up of the board, and you'll see that they're marked A, B, C, and D with a 0 ohm resistor pack currently on A for Miss Pac-Man. Now we get closer, you can see that the Miss Pac-Man is A, so we'll have to try and pull the resistor off. Again, that resistor is just a 0 ohm, meaning it's just acting like a jumper cable. So it looks like all 4 games are on each individual game unit. So we may be able to get 4 for 1 out of this by putting a simple jumper pack or a jumper switch on the console. Haven't verified it yet, but that's the going theory. Sort of like what the Bridge Direct did with Qbert and Centipede, the LCD versions. You can move a jumper pad, and both games are actually on the console. But the joysticks on those are kind of locked to make it unplayable. But these are all identical. So if that's the case, for $19, you can have all 4 of these games and just put a little selector on the back or something. But again, really nice artwork, speaker on the bottom, 3 AAA batteries back here, nice keychain, and this time we have a completely virgin console. So let's pull this little tab out. It doesn't want to come out. Come on, buddy. Wow. Alright, got that tab out, and the game started up. And again, the marquee did light up. And it's definitely not smooth, so again, it would not be either the arcade ROM or the machine's not powerful enough to give you totally smooth gameplay. But the sound effects are dead on. And it looks pretty, again, close to the arcade. Again, if people didn't know, like a younger person who didn't know how the arcade was, they probably would not know the difference at all. But that looks pretty good. I mean, you can definitely, again, plastic is really nice. You know, so it is a keychain, so it would definitely take, you know, getting knocked around in the car. I like it. So let's try playing a game. Let's hit the button. Let's start it up. Again, the joystick, it's just hard playing through a viewfinder, but the joystick is very responsive, very crisp, and so are the buttons. I mean, I can't complain about the controls, I just can't see it through the viewfinder, but the joystick just feels very, very nice. The screen is crisp. It is small, I'm not going to lie, but it's nice and crisp, and the buttons are working very, very well. I'm not sure how well my camera's focusing for you guys to see it, but the display is very, very nice. Again, I'm very happy, even at $19 for this. I definitely think it's really, really neat. I mean, I was probably more excited for this than a couple of the Bridge Direct ones. Oh God, I'm getting annihilated there. Again, it's just me because I can't see the screen from the viewfinder. Oh my God, they killed me! But that looks really, really nice. The screen, definitely, when I'm looking at it, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's not smooth. When the Invaders go over to be displayed, it should be silky smooth. And it's kind of choppy going across. So it's either the code or whatever system they're using to run this on. Some people think it's Arduino, but I don't think that it is. Or if it is, it's definitely not a full Arduino. It's going to be something that's watered down. But man, I'm digging this one too. If I can start the game up here. Come on, start up. Alright, let's try this again and see if I can get something good here. Yeah, it's definitely not as smooth as it would be on a full console or in the arcade. But again, graphically, visually, it looks great. It is just a little bit choppy. But again, nothing I would say that'd be such a negative that it's unplayable. It's still very, very playable. And it sounds great. And my eyes, again, are not the greatest. I can still make everyone out and see the scoreboard on there and everything. Alright, that's another win. I like this one too, so I'm going to put him down. Next one we'll take a look at is the original Pac-Man. Now what I did on this one, I left one of the little stickers on here. I don't know if you can see the sticker on here. Just to show it's very easy to take off. I just took a little screwdriver, just slid it under here, just enough to start it up, and it comes off very easy without damaging the box. That's it. Bridge Direct should learn from these guys. I really wish they would. So let's go take a look now at Pac-Man. So we'll take a look at the box once again. Start off with the front here. Again, nicely done. It's embedded into the plastic. It's not a decal. It looks really, really nice. Everything else on the side, we see the artwork is very well done. I'm actually so far very pleased with all of these. Alright, enough of the box. Let's go take a look at the game. So I'm not going to bother taking out the instructions or anything because they're identical in all of these. There's no difference. And I've got a plastic shell again, which is the same. Let's put that aside here. And take a look at the artwork. Again, keychain. So it's very nice plastic. It'll definitely take it knocked around. Decals are very glossy, very smooth. Look really, really nice. Again, speaker on the bottom. And the batteries in the back. Let's see if this pull tab will come out. The other one didn't really want to come out. Yeah, I gotta eat more spinach. There we go. Alright, and it turns on. Again, the marquee does light up. And again, you could see if my camera's focusing. I'm hoping it's focusing for you guys to see it okay. The graphics look spot on, but it's definitely the frames per second. That's probably a better way of saying it. The frames per second looks like it's maybe, I don't know, 15 frames or 12 frames. But it doesn't really take away from the game. And your screen's so small, you're not going to see every single fluid part of the frame. It's where the joystick and the controls, sound effects, and does it play like the arcade? Well, it definitely looks like it as small as it is. Let's start it up. Well, again, the joystick feels perfect. Pac-Man is a very intuitive joystick type of game, and if you got a bad joystick, you'll know it. And the controls feel fine to me. That's a big, big plus. Much better than the Bridge Direct joysticks. Much, much better. And the buttons, of course, don't do anything in here. But if this does, in fact, have all 4 games on it, that would be either for, say, you know, Galaxian or Space Invaders to play those games. But the joystick feels actually really, really good, folks. It's following me. It's intuitive like it would be for Pac-Man, like it's supposed to be. But I will say the frames per second is definitely lower. It's not running fully, but it doesn't really detract from the game. It really does not. Get down. I might be in trouble. Now, in a Bridge Direct Pac-Man, I would have been dead because it wouldn't have followed my commands. Now you can see there, the ghosts are still changed. Must be a little bug because it's, even though they haven't, yeah, they're going, starting to change now, but the music that's needed to let you know that they changed stopped really, really quick. Let me try that again. It must be the way that, it must be a bug in the code. But again, it didn't detract from playing the game. And actually I got through the level. Again, it's very small, it's a 1.5 inch screen, but I can still definitely make everything out, and my eyes are not good at these small things anymore. But I'm not having any problem playing Pac-Man, as you can see, other than going through a viewfinder, which is not the fault of the game. But that is a little kind of weird that the effect of them being blue, the music stops way too quick. So that's another dead giveaway that it's not the actual arcade, but it's a really good rendition and clone of it. I just want to see if I can live long enough to see if there's any cutscenes in it. Yeah. I might make it. Let's see if there's any cutscenes. There is. Well, Space Invaders, Galaxian, and now Pac-Man. I'm digging these. These are really, really nice. These are really nice. I'm going to put him down and let him finish what he's doing. And let's take a look at Miss Pac-Man. Again, we can take a look at the box art. Did a real nice job. And let's take a look at the actual game. Let's get inside and see what we have. All right. Once again, nice work on the artwork. Nice smooth quality decals. Illuminated marquee. Nice plastic. Joysticks have really been really good. Yeah, let's pull this tab out and get Miss Pac-Man going. Oh my goodness, but they're really tough. Ah, spinach. Gotta get me spinach. And here's Miss Pac-Man. Again, the frame rate is low, but it doesn't really detract from the game itself. They did a really nice job trying to emulate the arcade machine. Let's get a game started. Let me turn off our Pac-Man here. Stop. Stop that. There we go. I had to turn them off. Alright. Let's go try Miss Pac-Man. Again, joystick is responding as I would expect. 2 buttons don't work here, but again, I'm guessing that all 4 of these games are on the inside with a jumper moving. So you could technically play all the games with one console. The only downside I've seen so far is really the frame rates are a little bit on the low side. And the same thing happens here. The music for the Blue Ghosts goes away way too soon. But again, that's one small little caveat and a very well emulated console here that's emulating the arcade pretty darn well. The sounds are pretty good. You can see the cherry bouncing there. The frame rate on him is really low too. But again, it's not taken away from the game. It's just something I noticed because I know how the arcade would be. But they've done a very good job here at emulating it. I'm going to come out and say it. I'm very pleased with all 4 of these, and I hope they work on more. I'm really enjoying it. And the joystick is really, really good. I don't know how they're doing that, but they did a nice job with that small stick. And I hope that the graphics on my camera is coming across to you as good as it seems to me. I mean, it is small, I'm not going to lie, it's tiny. Frame rate is low, that's also true. But it's very easy to see. And it's very playable, and it's supposed to be a damn keychain, for God's sakes. How many $20 keychains, you know, can play these games at all? And when Bridge Direct came out with its Pac-Man and Space Invaders, that's what they went for initially, and they were just static black and white screens. This is what they should have done. Maybe on a larger screen version, but nonetheless, these guys have hit the mark, I think, with building something that's inexpensive, and it's fun to play. As small as it is, it's fun to play. I can forgive the low frame rates because, again, I paid 20 bucks for it, but they're obviously going to be selling it online for even less. So there has to be a price point to where they say, listen, we can only give so much oomph for the amount of money you're going to spend. And let's see if there's a cutscene. And there is. Well, I gotta say, all 4 of these are pretty darn nice. I'm gonna turn this guy back on. And let's hit him, hit him, hit him. I like them. I like them a lot, and I think they're definitely worth getting. If you find these anywhere for even the $19, I'm gonna say they're pretty nice. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and this little quick run through of all 4 of these games. I'm giving you my thumbs up on them. I like them. Again, everyone, thanks for watching, taking your time out of your day to watch my video. And please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again, once again, to all my subscribers. You guys are great. I'm really glad you guys take time out of your day to watch my videos. But for now, everyone, game on!
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.